Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So we're continuing on my new campaign. Currently this is what we've unlocked. So the last thing we got was solar panels, and we've also got the mobile processing lab. So I'm thinking that'll be the first module of my space station, the International Kerbal Station. However, we don't yet have docking ports, so there's no point actually setting up a station yet. But we do need to put up our first satellite, and I think we also need to do our first rendezvous with in space so that we can actually test and see how it works. Because we've never done that before in this Kerbal playthrough. So let's make a working satellite. So we're going to go with this puppy. And we're going to need some science gear, obviously. So we have some new science gear. Let's see, let's going to go with the Sputnik kind of look. Something like that. And will we take up the entire lot of science gear, or will we go with a bit more low tech? We're going to need a battery anyway. That's a nice battery to have on this. Now, where exactly are we going to put? Should we put our solar panels on the actual sphere or not? Let's put some on there. Now, the other science gear we're going to want to put on a thermometer. So we'll stick that there. Do we have anything else? That's all, wasn't it? We have nothing structurally. I guess we could have something like this. Yeah, that might actually work, because then we can have a couple of goo canisters off of this. So this won't be coming back. At least there's no plans to return this to the surface. But we do want to do like a rendezvous with it in the future. Yeah, so this is what I'm thinking about. Yeah, I think this looks quite good. We don't need any lights or anything. There's no need for parachutes. Or should we? Will we one day return this to the surface and we'll need some parachutes to do that? No, we won't. We won't need to get anything off of this. So let's figure out exactly what we're gonna do. Might be worth putting a reaction wheel in, just in case that doesn't have any torque abilities. I think it probably does. Yeah, you know what? It probably does, and even if it doesn't, we don't need it. Okay. Right, so we need to get this into space now. So let's go with a little engine, which will just be for orbital maneuvering, hopefully. It's not much fuel, but it also makes it lighter, which means it's easier to move around. Then we'll go with, say, one of these tanks, one of these engines. Now the problem is we might actually be able to get this into space pretty easy, so I shouldn't, try and overdo the engineering on this, which I probably will. And then we're gonna have two of these puppies. And one of these that has vector thrusting. So we don't have a reaction wheel. Yeah, you know what? We're going to have a reaction wheel. We're not going to have it on the satellite itself, but we are going to have it down here. Then structurally we want to break off a 4-piece like this. This will then be attached to a fuel tank. Like that. I think we are overdoing it quite a bit. But that's cool, that's cool. And then we're going to want, I think it's one of these, with a small tank on the bottom. And then solid boosters on all of these. I think, do we? No, we don't yet have struts. So this won't be the most secure of vessels, but it'll be fine. So we've got our solar panels, but we probably need a couple more because we've got we've got this viewpoint we can get power, but if it's if the sun's directly behind it, we can't get power. So how are we going to solve that issue? We could put them down here, but we still have the same problem. I think we're just going to have that as a blind spot and hope that we never have it forever pointing towards in the wrong direction. That's the hope anyway. Okay, so right, so we need to get our engines all set up here. Looks like we have all that in the right place. This needs to come down along with this. We need to have these separators by themselves, so we can separate that engine off later if just in case we need to. Then there you go. Then this breaks. We want this engine to come on at that point. This breaks. We want this engine to come on. So this will be our first we'll call it phone sat. So we'll pretend that this is our satellite communication with for mobile phones or intercontinental communications. I'm going to add a couple of our batteries on because I think that one battery won't last too long. So phone sat. So our very first satellite, hopefully. And it's all for mobile phone communication. Okay. Right. SAS on. Throttle up. Fire the engines. Okay. She's a bit wobbly to begin with, but that's cool. Okay, pretty good. Stable. Completely on target. We're not listing or anything. We are, however, not burning enough fuel on that. We want to have this liquid fuel one run out about the same time as the solids right now. That is not the case. I don't want to have to ditch it with fuel left in it, which I'm going to have to do at this rate. Because if we come down to just that engine, we're not going to have enough thrust to continue accelerating. We do not want to slow down. Okay, we are at 200 meters a second. Yep, there we go. And I've set up so we can jettison them. But now we're slowing down crazy fast. We're going to cut the engine, drop the stage, throttle up. Because we do not want to slow down. And we've just peppered our launch site with a lot of engines and boosters. Okay, we're continuing up. Everything is going fine. We're getting power and everything like that. Oh, you know what? We can actually do our first experiment, can't we? So display on, let's toggle that. Perfect, we will transmit. Let's check the power. Seems okay. First bit of scientific data has been transmitted. Yay! Let's transmit again. See if we can get some more science. 8 data. And let's see if we can get a bit more. We're getting nothing for sending it out this time though. Alright, so we're gonna make a maneuver. So the idea is to put this into orbit. And it's gonna be our first commercial satellite. Capable of receiving, let's say, four phone signals at once. Or is that sending? We don't actually. I don't know. Yeah, we don't really have any to send data really. Anyway, the idea is we're going to bring a Kerbal up to rendezvous with this, and that'll be our first rendezvous in space, and that'll be taking us further and further closer and closer to the whole idea of putting up a oh god, a little bit off there. The whole idea of putting up a Kerbal putting up a space station. Alright, let's see, we're gonna jettison. Cut engine, still on a thrust. Alright, that gives 300,000, okay. Slightly more than I was planning, but that'll do fine. So we want to match it about the same, roughly there. We're looking at a burn time of 1 minute 43. Oh, we still have a reaction wheel, that's why we're so easy to maneuver right now. I'm interested if we're going to have any maneuvering capabilities with the probe. Yeah, 1 minute 43, so that's quite a burn. So we'll start burning like 1 minute away. That should work. Okay. Alright, let's thrust up. Maximum thrust. Okay, it's going to be a long burn. So we can fast forward. And I'm thinking this thing doesn't have any cameras, so it's not sending back any camera data. Like our last mission that went to Mun with it was an unbound probe, yeah. Wasn't it? It was an unbound probe. I pretended that thing had cameras. Okay, so we're looking at 20-second burn left. Okay, let's just check. It's looking really good. And we're going to get up there on the current engine. We don't need anything else. And boom. Right, so we actually got up here on just that. We got half that tank left. So this fuel tank in this engine, waste, total waste. So yeah, here we go. This is our very first communication satellite in orbit. So yeah, we won't get any useful science off these goo canisters. Nothing. And we have managed to actually park our ass towards the sun, which we don't want to do. Let's go with a vertical positioning. Hopefully that'll mean we're okay. Can we actually extend and hold these up? Does that work? Hehehe. That's awesome. Oh. Come on. Yeah. So with thermometer, where are you hiding? There you are. Log the temperature. Cannot be done. So that's it. All she wrote. So yeah, okay, we are currently in orbit. Very stable orbit. What's it like? 300? 300? Yeah, so that's that. We are successfully up here. I think it's time for our very first rendezvous in space. So we're going to bring up our Kerbal, and he's going to do a rendezvous with us with the ComSat.